Let's move on to your segment or the discussion that we had for the View. Um, this
Oh, this
was
is so painful.
yeah, I know. We watched. We've cut out a good portion of it. You only had to listen to a couple minutes of it, but pay attention. This is instructing for what we're fighting is not just Kamala. It's the greater evil.
The challenge I think Democrats have. Let's talk about what's really going on in the last couple of weeks here. So
Rhino Chris Sununu, governor of New Hampshire. Just so we know who he is. We know who the people surrounding him are, but that's who he is.
the Democrat voters all voted for Joe Biden, and then a couple of elites said, "Yeah,
Well, they voted for Harris, too. She was on the ticket.
yeah, understood. That's right." But they voted for him. That's right. But they voted for Biden to be president, and then it wasn't like it was sent to the convention, and then the delegates had a choice or anything like that. A couple of elites
She
called.
has 2,000
called
delegates
Biden.
already.
That's right, and she did it in. Guys,
Yes, but she hasn't had one delegate vote for her.
Yeah, all those 2,000 delegates are all pledged to Joe Biden. If there
John,
was
I'm holding up the number of delegates she's actually won.
and that's
On one hand,
the first time she ran, because that's a problem, right? Just
Yeah.
can the holdover from the first time she ran? Can they vote too? No.
yeah.
That's
Wait,
the
they
problem.
didn't even vote. She didn't even make
vote.
the first primary, John. She was out in December, and the first primary came a month later. Give me a
Right,
break.
and they did not vote for these delegates did not vote for Kamala. She was not on the ticket then. It was
No.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden hadn't even announced that she was going to be the vice president. These people are factually wrong. But bigger than that, if this was this was done correctly, RFK and the entire factions of the Democrat Party could be represented at the actual convention.
Yes.
You could have, a huge number of them going to be for RFK. You could have a huge number of them being for Gavin Newscomb, right? You could have some of them being for the evil witch from Michigan, Witless Whitmore. You could but at least you'd have each segment of the Democratic Party represented at the convention. Instead, we have cuckoo Kamala, usurping in there.
But let me just for a moment, because I do want to hear the rest of this, but I want to make a point. First off, lots of presidents have changed their vice presidents, and there's no guarantee that going into the 2024 convention. I mean, FDR changed all 4 times that he won. He had a different VP, if I remember correctly, or at least 3 of them were different. Especially, he got rid of the guy before Truman. I mean, this is the nature of the beast. All listings of presidents throughout the 1800s, the second run changed who they're running with. There's a political component to that. I want to make sure I get more votes in this area from picking that person. And I'm going to say,
let's be true too. She was a failure as a VP. Maybe he was going to get rid of her just to improve his ticket.
Yeah. And as far as the convention, about this convention argument, I got to tell you that Sonny Liston or whatever her name is, that's a great image of her with her face frown. Yeah, her face frowned down. Great image. Anyway, James Garfield went into the convention as a delegate. He had no intention of running for president. And the opponents, the people who were running for president, they kept on trying to get their nomination. They never got enough votes to be nominated. And then somebody said, hey, this guy Garfield, he's a really nice guy. He's popular. We like him. And out of nowhere, I think it was like on the 15th or 16th ballot. I don't know. It was maybe even more than that. They finally, somebody put him up and he won. That's the same thing that could happen in Chicago.
Think about that. If that had happened, at least you have like the Texas delegation being represented and their interest being represented.
Exactly.
The California delegation having their interest represented, right? There'd be the brokering. All of it, zero, not happening. The Democratic Party is now forevermore known as the anti-Democrat Party. They are the exact opposite of democracy. They are literally installing the aristocrats don't like the process of even the primary process. So they're just installing who they want, right?
Yeah, so it was John Sherman. And Garfield became the dark horse nominee
Wow.
for the Republican, and it was against Winfield Scott Hancock, and it was that was back then. That was an 1880 election, and that's a perfect example of what you could have had. Anyway, let's hear what they have to say.
But look, 3 phone calls were made from Schumer and Pelosi. Biden said, I'm in this thing, I'm not leaving. A couple phone calls are made, and all of a sudden he's pushed out. And in 48 hours, all the delegates aren't given a choice of other candidates. They're told, you're going to get behind Kamala.
That's actually not what happened.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Where's the other choice?
That's not actually. The other choices decided she was the best choice. That's
But
what
who
they
decided? Who's
That's
they?
the
Delegates did.
Point of order. So did Garfield. Garfield said he
Point of
didn't want
order.
the job.
Objection. Very good. Point
Objection,
of order.
yeah.
The delegates.
The delegates did.
Governor Newsom
But the delegates haven't
decided
voted
he
yet,
didn't.
guys.
The delegates
But,
decided.
but also,
No.
I'm saying Newsom said, I'm not going to challenge this.
Yeah.
People decided who would have gone in to challenge, said, no, we're not going to challenge her. We actually think. So that's
A lot of people
I can
voted
tell
for
you.
the
And the
ticket.
delegates
Yeah.
could
But let me
have
just
not
Go ahead,
there was
Becky.
another
Behind
scenario that
Go
could
ahead.
have happened here where President Biden could have said, in order to give you a nudge and really make it a decision we're making, I could step down as president and you could step up right now. And she'd be going into an election.
But he didn't want that.
Right. But I'm saying that is actually something
So let
that's
me-
a little more
Let me
disenfranchised.
flip it if I could. What if I said, you know what, Trump, you're losing in the polls now. And we have another candidate, and the head of the Republican National Committee, and myself, and a bunch of others say, "You're out. We're just going to instill Nikki Haley now because the
I
polls aren't
wish
good."
we had a party
Right?
that could operate that way.
See that?
But
But
everyone
when
has to
you
accept
ask
that.
them to-
That would be
Well, they
awful
can't
for
because
America.
the convention happened already.
Yeah.
Right, but
The
that would be
aristocrats
awful.
creeps.
The
Why?
voters have to decide
Why would it be awful?
because voters
So
have to decide, not
so it would
elites.
be two women
Stop
against each
calling them
other.
elites. That's you're
No,
that's
insiders,
divisive.
let's say.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't want to
better.
no. I just want the vote. I'm a big believer. Everyone should vote. You
Yeah,
you
they did
guys,
vote.
you guys are. But no,
They
well,
did vote. They voted for Harris as vice president, and the delegates
all right.
want her
Okay,
as
so-
the nominee.
You idiot.
This guy's Gumby, man. He just they're not elites. You're right. They're insiders. No, they're elites.
They're elites. They're the
They're the
aristocrats.
elites.
They're the elites.
Stan, get a backbone, dude. Get a backbone.
And you're all the
afraid of a
elites.
bunch
I say you're the idiot elites.
Yeah. And it's a great idea. I don't even know who the chicken pink is, but yeah, I wish we had a party like that. Yeah, okay. I bet you do because you would be the one trying to influence the way it would go. Boss.
And the world would go to hell like that. That's the problem. Remember, this is George.
That's called an oligarchy. Just so we're